y'all, and welcome back to the channel. It's Simply May here, and today I bring you a speed build. We are going to be creating the broccoli boutique. So for those of you that haven't seen my Very Veggie Legacy challenge, we are in Gen 1, and right now our main character, Brianne, is on her way to become a fashion designer, and so she has been selling her knitted items on Plopsy, but as she's developing her knitting skill, I really want her to build up to having her very own boutique. Part of Gen 1 is we need to have our own small business, and so instead of having it on the lot that we're living in, I wanted to create a shop for Brianne that we can start to run and hopefully hire staff over time and build it into a real business. So I had a lot of fun building this, and I wanted to go for something that was still very reminiscent of broccoli. So you'll see in the colors that I pick, and especially in the plants that I end up putting around the build, I had a lot of fun with and tried to put little symbols of broccoli, I guess you could say. For instance, I liked the green wallpaper that I put here because it kind of looks like broccoli florets. And I just kind of played around with different windows for the front. I wasn't entirely sure at first of what I wanted, but I did have this vision of having the mannequins to her shop. So I ended up going with these big clear windows, and then on the sides I thought it would be fun to have something green, so I went with these. I thought they were really pretty, and yeah, green is obviously going to be the main color of this shop. Also, I don't actually know if in the veggie gardening pack, like the seed packs you can get, if there is a broccoli that you can get in this game. I'm really not sure. But if there is, I thought it would be really cool if we could actually have some broccoli growing out front of the shop. But maybe we're doing too much, I don't know. Or maybe it's not enough. So originally I thought it would be kind of cool to have there be a second floor, but I wasn't really feeling the roofing, and then I was like, you know what, this is supposed to be a small business, so I kind of just nixed that idea and made it just one floor. And I really liked this green roof. As you can see, I just really leaned into the whole green theme. I'm not sure if I love the roof trim still. I kind of wish maybe I picked something different, but you know, we can always change it eventually. Now these stairs were giving me a lot of trouble, so as you'll see, I kept trying different things, couldn't get the door to work with it. I don't know what was up with that, but I did end up just putting down, is that like a deck, or I don't know what to call that exactly, like a front porch. But I did end up putting that up in front of the door, and then added the stairs, and that worked. So yeah, that's the solution I came up with. Like I said, not too sure what was up with the stairs not working, but I decided to go with these nice green stairs. And then for the railings, I liked these the railing that had like the plants on it, because they were kind of round and just made me think of heads of broccoli. And then I was considering doing kind of like the hedge, but ended up going with the same sort of fencing all around. And I can't even tell you how much I love this flooring. I think the white looked really nice with like the white in the front of the shop. And I will tell you right now, I did forget to put the foundation all the way around this house, so I'm sorry for anyone who notices that and is annoyed by that. I will definitely go back in and try to remember to fix that. But the foundation, I like it. I think it's just kind of nice and simple. And then I did like a little pathway, very small, obviously. As you can see, we're pretty much on the sidewalk. So, whoops, sorry, that was my phone. And I tried to make this tree fit because I liked how it almost looked like broccoli and cauliflower. But I couldn't get it to work. It was just too big, so I forgot about that idea. And now I'm just putting these little hedges, obvious reasons for a broccoli build, and then these bushes I thought were nice, and a nice way to incorporate some color. As you'll see, a lot of color is going to come in through all the plants that I put in. I really kind of went to town with it and started to get really into it. So yeah, this shop I think is meant to be very, I don't know, just very beautiful, and yeah, I wanted to kind of sneak in a bit more color because I did feel like it was getting like overly green and white. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that came out. And as you can see, I'm getting those planters so that we can grow our broccoli. And if not broccoli, I don't know, I just think it would be kind of quirky if like this shop grew vegetables outside of their shop. Like, it would make them very memorable. And I am working in my challenge to like get Brianne into gardening. So I think it would be kind of fun for her to like go into work, but she also is maintaining her garden and building her gardening skill. I really liked the rose hedges in the back. I thought that was just pretty and something that you maybe wouldn't expect. And then I just thought the trees were nice, and originally I was just going to put one, but it looked kind of off, so I threw another on the other side. And as you can see, now I'm just adding some dirt to just make it a little more realistic, and I do that all the way around the building. I really feel like the outside of this build came out so pretty and so cool. You know, even though it's just like a simple box, I want it to be something that we can grow with and build upon. So I didn't want to do too much, but I feel like we did just enough. And I think it's a really cute kind of like, oh my gosh, sorry guys, my phone keeps getting notifications and it's on sound for some reason. So yeah, I just thought keeping it simple would be better. So as you can see, I'm just playing around with the wallpapers. I go through quite a few, tried to lean into the green. I really liked this rose wallpaper. I felt like it was kind of cool and ties in the roses in the back, but ultimately ended up changing my mind quite a few times more before I settled on the interior wallpaper, which was actually something totally different than what I would have expected. I didn't even settle on green, but nevertheless, I like what I picked because it's something more neutral, and I feel like because we're already doing so much with the green, I didn't need to go overboard with it. Yeah, and I just felt like this kind of tan color tied in really well with the windows. I almost went with that kind of reddish hue because red is complementary to green, so I thought maybe that would be cool. But I don't know, I just kept gravitating towards this tan, so that's the one I ended up going with. So once I had, you know, the basics, the wallpaper and the flooring, that's when I started to plan out where I want the main things to be, such as where do I want the cash register to be. And so I decided I wanted to use a countertop, this nice green countertop. And at first I thought, oh, maybe when you first enter the shop, that's the first thing you see. But then I changed my mind because I really like the idea of having it in front of those beautiful green windows. So I did move it over there. And instead, when you first walk into the shop, what you'll see is a lot of mannequins. There's so many mannequins that I end up having in this store, as you will see. But before I get into that, as you can see right now, I'm working on the dressing rooms. And I ended up doing a male dressing room and a female dressing room. Because I did decide that I wanted this build to have, or this boutique to have things for males and females, as well as like a kids section. So that was something I really let kind of guide my choices. Just wanting to make sure that I have something for everyone. Now, I don't actually love the wallpaper that I picked for the dressing rooms. If I were to do it again, I think I would change it and maybe play around with something with texture, just because I think that would be a little bit more fun. But yeah, as you can see, I'm using the male and female doors, adding these cute little lamps or lights in the dressing room, and then added these little stools, so that, you know, you can check yourself out and see how you like the fit of the clothing. And I believe I do end up putting 2 of these stools, but you'll see that I kind of play around with the placement of the mirrors until I settle on these mirrors here, just because I thought it would be cool if like the whole wall was mirrors. So yeah, I really, really like how this turned out. I think it's really cute and fun. And then I started to think about the displays and place where I wanted the main displays to be, especially thinking about, okay, right near the cash register, what are you going to see? What's going to be on display? And I think in this shop, it's not only going to have like knitted clothing, but we'll have some of the knitted objects that Brianne can sell. And I also think that we should try to sell some of her paintings in here too. So there's going to be a variety of things you can buy in this shop, all of her different crafted goods, but definitely she's most importantly trying to establish herself as a fashion designer. So yeah, I also really want the focus of her clothing to mainly be for females, though like I said, she will have things for kids and she'll have things for men, but her main target audience would be young women. So yeah, I'm kind of running out of breath here, but I think that this came out really cute. I have these little display tables because once again, we're going to sell more than just clothing. So I wanted to have plenty of space for that. And once I've got all the displays down, I really just started to think about how I could decorate this place. First with this cute little gnome that's holding up like a shelf. I thought that was kind of cute and quirky and it adds a bit of personality. I wanted to really get some color because up until this point, as you can see, it's all very neutral on the inside. So I started to think more about what could I put on the walls. So over by the kids section, I wanted to add some kid items. And then on the other side, we have those nice trees. And I just think this adds a little life into the place. I started to add some photos on the wall and just really think about like how could I incorporate maybe some plants. And yeah, so I really just kind of played around with all different things. And you'll see that I also find some really cute deco items and experimented quite a bit. So yeah, that's pretty much like, I don't know, not it, but that's like was my main focus. I did like the idea of having a plumb bob right kind of overhead of the male mannequin there. But it's not like perfectly lined up, but I still feel like you kind of get the sense. I might even go back in and move him so that it's like right above his head, just because I think that's kind of cute. And then of course I needed to have a stereo so that shoppers can be listening to some music. Yeah, I want this whole place to just be a vibe, and I feel like I have achieved that. Oh my gosh, when you see the planters that I ended up putting in this build, like, I think that I found some really cute plants to add, especially the ones I put on the counter there. I love, love, love those plants. And then for like right behind the register, I really liked having like a bunch of potted plants, a nice way to add some color, and I don't know, I just felt like it was very cheerful. And yeah, that's kind of the main gist, I would say. I'm gonna probably say goodbye to you here, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this build. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and yeah, enjoy the rest of this. I'll be coming out with another episode of the Very Veggie Legacy very soon, and if you haven't watched, please feel free to check out the playlist. I've been loving the Very Veggie Legacy challenge, and I can't wait till Brianne can finally open shop. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you all in my next one. Duck duck!